Hi, we had the model swap meet, and wow, very full, very good collection of odds and ends, and a huge load of people coming through. I'm going to run through all of the goodies that I collected at the swap meet, some interesting and odd, and some new projects. I knew I would buy some. Okay, to start with is this Resin engine, which is a R1830 18-cylinder radial, which I think is for the P47 amongst others, possibly B17 and Liberator, I'm not sure. Haven't studied up yet on it, but it's bigger than the 14-cylinder radials as used on the Dakota. Anyway, something different. I won't put it into an aircraft. I'll build that just as is. And I don't think a ton of work to actually build that. Hopefully not. I saw this box of somewhat different ship parts, ship models, but sort of low-key models. So there's been a bit of gluing and assembling done on them. I don't know the scale. I don't know what they are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously a little bit of fixing up to be done. They might be for wargaming. Frigates. Oh, there's 5. Another one. All the same thing. So anyway, I mean, you know, a nice little very quick. Basically, there's nothing to do except put on the sails and clean it up and do a bit of a paint job. I'm not sure how much is broken and so on, but okay, so this is a 1,000th Constitution Old Ironsides. Was launched in the fall of 1797 and in naval service for over 100 years during the War of 1812. She earned the nickname Old Ironsides because British cannonballs bounced off the stout hull. Okay, something different. So you can see there, you know, very few parts. So we'll see what I can do paint-wise when I eventually get to that. It needs to be cleaned up. There's dust and you know, it's not high quality by any means. So we'll just see if you can make a reasonably nice looking model out of that. I got this one, which I haven't had before, I think. Oh no, maybe I do have this one. This is the field kitchen. That's right, I do have this one. So I've sort of specifically wanted to not necessarily model the other one as the, you know, being drawn by the horses at the time, but do a little something more interesting with the actual kitchen units. Maybe in use. I have to look at pictures. I don't know. Did they must have come off the cart. So actually, I'll do a little bit of research into that. Anyway, that one was there, so I thought, why not another one of those? But at the same time, this one, which I haven't had before, which is provisions wagon, I assume. and I haven't built a wagon ever. I'm not sure if I'd want to do it with the horses again, as opposed to just a wagon standing in a diorama setting. Oh, there's a ambulance version. Sorry, that's all the dust. So not bad. You know, not complicated build. Those figures don't look great, but I think they're usable. Yeah, I think something interesting can be done, possibly using the two, you know, the wagon and the field kitchen in a little setting. In both cases, not specifically planning on putting the horses in, but we'll see. I got this one. So I've got the big 132nd P47 and I've got 172nds, and I saw this one, and I might actually be keen to do a very fast build, possibly not even painting at all, on a P47, just because I haven't done one, and just to get a little bit more familiar with it. Now this theme of, you know, grabbing kits out of the collection and doing fast builds without painting somewhat goes towards the issue of just getting builds done, doing builds low stress, low key, much faster than when painting is involved. And of course, I mean, it's not, you're not building it to sort of present well, but just to be building again as in the late 70s, 80s. We'll see. I mean, it is possible to do fast, simple paint work. You know, I'd sort of almost say to do a 10% paint job, paint nothing in the cockpit, paint none of the undercarriage and things like that, and sort of achieve a mildly okay aircraft to hang from the ceiling. We'll see what it looks like when I undo that one. Got this Panzer IV, but with the missing barrel. This Panzer IV kit, so I'm sort of regarding that as a not a wreck, but a not in service tank, where I can do some sort of interesting weathering, you know, abandoned, damaged. I won't do actual battle damage on it, but, you know, possibly not have the turret on. We'll see what I do. You know, I've got enough armor that's been done in a complete state, so some of the stuff I want to do different things with. This one does have these one-piece tracks, which is actually not bad at all. I do like these type of tracks. Just have to be careful not to break those. Haven't been broken. I really like these tracks. So I haven't built a Panzer IV, and I'll think up something interesting to do with this. Again, a sort of a fast build. Not that it's the most difficult to sort of manufacture something that can pass as a turret. Sorry, as the barrel. Oh, it's got that short barrel. If it's got the, is it called the mantlet? Just that part of it minus that, we could possibly even get away with with it looking close to finished. Let's just see if it has that. Oh, I did want to just show the bottom, the whole, because you know, sort of the bottom often gives a nice idea of the quality of the moldings. Now I also need to check if it's missing what other pieces. Well, there's looks like there's something there. It looks like it is missing something, but we'll see. I'll do a, well, it's got a barrel. Oh no, it looks like it does actually have the barrel. Oh, maybe it's missing something other than the barrel. I'll have to do a proper look through that, but that's, I don't quite know what I would want to do there. The grey scheme, but abandoned and rusted, standing in a field somewhere. Crusader III. Now I've been meaning to do a Crusader for a long time, so I do want to do a sort of a fast build of, well, and what I want to do is a aged, chipping, rusted. Again, very good tracks. I do like these a lot, and it saves you a hell of a lot of effort. And with the bolt of this one's underside again is quite acceptable. With the bolted plates, I quite like that for an amount of weathering effect that one can achieve. Well, what I mean by that is specifically around the bolts. The bolts offer a level of wear and tear, and possibly bit of rust line. You know, you can take, I guess, a bit of artistic liberty. The Crusader was one of the tanks that was on display in some of the military display areas standing outside. So whether it be a Harvard, a Vampire, possibly a Crusader tank, and possibly an armored car, something like that. So there'd be these certain common items that were always, this was in our South Africa 70s, and I seem to remember a Crusader that was standing there. So that's that. Got this sterling. Oh, this is closed up. Let's just see. I'm not sure if it's missing stuff. Well, it's missing, oh, no front turret, and all the glazing is missing. Let's see. Well, not sure. Let's see. Which I do have. I have had, but I started modifying mine. But let's just see what's going on with this one. I mean, you know, it's another, this is another old Airfix that I haven't commonly seen finished models on tables much, if ever. I might have seen one. I do love its very long fuselage. Yeah, so I might be able to use my other kit's glazing for that nose turret. So it's not missing all the glazing, thank goodness. It's missing possibly front turret glazing, as they say, which I could remake in, what is that off? Oh, is that? What is that? Don't know. Okay, so maybe most of a workable model here. Might be some bits that don't come off this kit. That doesn't look like it comes off this. Okay, sterling for giveaway price. And I got this one. This is the Tiger with the full interior, and the picture is there. Pictures are there. It's got the full interior. Now, I'm not that keen on spending a huge amount of time building this Tiger with the full interior and with separate track links compared to that other Tiger of mine, the early Tamiya release, which is vastly inferior. Of course it is. So you've got these very nice track links, but it does take a lot of time to build them. And this has got all of the interior. And as I said, I do have that other engine kit. So I'll look this over and just sort of think what plan I might have for stuff. Because of course, building the Tiger and having all of this detail inside, which no one will ever see, is pointless. Having the open kit like that is interesting, but one needs to sort of think of a method of display. Open to ideas on that. So that's sort of one display method like that. Could work. Matilda in a bag. Now again, I have been meaning to build a Matilda, and I did have one at a stage and got rid of it, so I got another one now, and really all I want to do here is do a fast build, I don't want it to be in, it can be in those colors, but I want more than that. I want it to be a bit, 10 years later, 20 years later, found in the desert type of thing. Really, really worn and used. So the Matilda and the Crusader will be a nice pair in that regard. I saw this for $2. And that also looks like, it's not hasn't got the most huge amount of parts. It's a bit of a fast build. And I haven't done a World War I tank, so that's something interesting. And that's got a nice enough color scheme on. Yeah. Oh, and that's okay. So this has got all of the running gear. You see that's the big difference here. You see all of that. It's sort of molded in, and basically when you've glued it and put on the tracks, well, yes, rubber tracks there, that's on. So actually that makes a very fast build. Now it's towing something. I don't quite know what that is. But anyway, nice. A nice fast build, and I'm all about fast builds at the moment because some of the builds are quite slow. Yeah, so that's something that can be achieved very quickly, and do a very heavy, you know, bring out a lot of the detail. That's what I actually mean. You know, there's a lot of bolt detail and surface detail on that, which can be brought out very well. I do like that. I got a bunch of these. I used to read these when I was like 13 or something, 13, 14, 15. This was huge amongst us high school kids. Starting high school, these battle and war picture libraries, and to a large degree this is what caused a lot of my interest in World War II beyond the aircraft, which I was already interested in. These stories and the way these were presented, I mean, I know they're only, you know, comics, but I really like these, so I got that. I got a little, can I open this? This is a little set of metal figures. I can't show you right now. Let's see if we can open this. I won't mount them on the wargaming bases. They're obviously for wargaming, but luckily I caught that. It's a bazooka and sniper team, winter. Now that looks like quite a nice figure. You've got a couple of figures lying down. So this is that 1/48th? Yes, that's 1/48th scale. So not too bad. And just a little bit of stuff on the ground. Something different, not much at all. And the last thing, I think the last thing, second last thing. Got a bit of an old book, which I do sometimes still like to get. Warships of the World. That book, and a Dakota in a bag. I won't open that now. You know, just I suppose good for spares or battlefield relic. But I already have a Dakota in good condition, so I don't know what the state of this one is. So yeah, a bunch of odds and ends, of which some form of modeling, some form of final presentation of model, but the two that definitely I think will be quite nice is the Matilda and the Crusader. And I'll show you the Grant tank that I did again quite a number of years back with chipping. One of the early dabblings in my chipping technique, and I want to do something similar, although chipping is not quite the correct word because this paint on armor doesn't really chip as such, but wear or weathering beyond the normal look in active service. So I want to build these things as if they were found, you know, 10 or 20 years after the fact. but had escaped souvenir hunters destroying the things. So quite a, you know, bit of an odd eclectic mix of things. And it was quite a good day all in all. So I'll go through the models, I'll look through them. But this one, I'd say this World War I tank is, I haven't really paid it much attention, and I haven't even really seen these bag versions before, not in bags like this. That looks like something that, you know, one could almost do in a couple of evenings. So that'll be good to look at. I did pick up my universal carrier piece off the ground, didn't forget that. But anyway, for the next little while, I'm still on this mission of trying to get space here, and it's a little bit frustrating in a sense, because you know that you need the space, but you don't know how to achieve the space. I suppose one of the things I have to do is just get stuff out. Can't repack stuff in other places. What I commonly do is I'll find little corners and nooks and put them in there, but they're not really supposed to be in there. And that's a bit, I suppose, the same in the model room. Stuff gets put there because it could be put there, but it's not supposed to be there. And inside, I need to clean that desk. Hold me accountable, I must clean that desk so that a model can be opened and put away in a box each time. This manner of mine of laying out on the table, then more parts get put on the table, then more parts get put on the table, and we'll just look at this and we'll just look at that, is causing me massive clutter. I like the idea of a clean table. One model gets, you can be working on multiple at the same time, but if you're not working on that very specific one at the time, close the box, put it aside. So over a week's period, maybe you worked over a number of kits, but actually keeping the workspace clear, that's the goal. Okay, happy modeling. Chat soon.